You know, it's videos like this where it's just kind of like, this is why as a parent, like you just have to be like super like active in your kid's life. Like you really do. Like to even make a video, detailing that, a 13-year-old was killed because he tried to carjack an off-duty police officer. That's sad. And it's just so much life they could have lived. But if you guys don't know, I want to say maybe 4 or 5 days ago, 13-year-old and his friend, they carjacked a police officer, and the police officer turned and shot them. And apparently this wasn't his first time. Apparently he had a couple instances with the law, but we're gonna get into it, and let's just take a look.
News 4 is uncovering new details tonight about the middle school student, just 13 years old, shot and killed this weekend while trying to carjack an off-duty federal security officer. Today, the child's middle school principal described Bernard Tony as smart, funny, and talented. But we also learned he is no stranger to police. This Saturday was not the first time he was accused of stealing cars. News 4's Darcy Spencer has the new developments.
It was here on D Street Northwest, outside an office building, that 13-year-old Bernard Tony Jr. was shot and killed when he allegedly tried to carjack an off-duty federal security officer. It was around 10 Saturday night. Police say the officer was sitting in his car waiting for a shift to start when two juveniles told him to get out. According to the report, one of the teens had his hand in his front waistband pocket as if he had a handgun. And as he was complying, the officer pulled a gun and shot Tony in the chest. A second juvenile ran away. The off-duty officer's gun was the only one recovered from the scene.
Guns, carjackings, 13-year-olds, recipe for tragedy.
Two sources familiar with the investigation confirmed that Tony was arrested last May for a carjacking and robbery spree. This map shows the area where he allegedly committed 9 crimes in a 6-week period. News 4 reports.
Wait. So he already had prior offenses to this. He already had been touched by the law and everything. Why wasn't he sent away? Why wasn't he in some type of correction facility for young juveniles? Like, what happened? Like, this was recent. Y'all sent him back out just so he can turn right back around and do the same thing. And it's sad because knowing this, looking at this chart right here, this was destined to happen. Something terribly bad was destined to happen. Say it wasn't a police officer. It could have been anybody else. You're trying to carjack them. Maybe they got a gun on them. Wow, somebody dropped the ball somewhere.
He was 12 years old at the time. It's unclear what happened with those cases and why Tony was back on the street. In a one-on-one interview, Chief Pamela Smith told News 4 she wanted to be sensitive to the teen's parents and classmates.
He was known to the Metropolitan Police Department, and it's just unfortunate that this particular incident happened on Saturday night.
Tony was a 7th grader at Kelly Miller Middle School in Northeast D.C. We could see police presence at the school today. Counseling services were also being offered to students. The school principal sent a letter to parents saying Tony was a smart and talented student. He had a natural comedic ability and loved to make people laugh, especially when he would joke that he was the principal of Kelly Miller Middle. Bernard also loved to play basketball and spend his free time on the court with his friends. DC's crime crisis was the subject of a council committee meeting earlier in the day.
So it seems like, he was a good kid. I don't think they really go into detail about his home life. That's also another factor too. But it seemed like for the most part, he was a good kid, but he probably was hanging around people he shouldn't have been hanging around. That's probably how he got caught up. This is why you need to be more active in your kid's life. Even if you got to get up in their business, who you hanging with, where you going, what time. You need to set those boundaries. You need to set them rules.
Leaders, community members, and victim families discussing violence reduction programs.
Everywhere I go, I hear people say that crime is the worst that they have seen, and it is driving our long-term residents out of the city.
According to DC crime stats, there have been 827 carjackings in the district so far this year. 74% of them involve guns, and most of those arrested are under 18.
And it's not
Wow,
all
so
of
they
our
got a
juveniles
problem.
on it. We believe that there's a small number of
That's
juveniles.
ain't no
believe,
small
and
number. That's a
want
big
to
number.
believe, and I'll go publicly and say the majority of our young people here in the District of Columbia are amazing young people.
Police tell us that off-duty security officer has cooperated in the investigation. At this point, no charges have been filed. In Northwest, Darcy Spencer, News 4.
What is your...
It's sad. It's sad. So much life, so much potential, so much greatness, right down the drain. You guys like, comment, subscribe, and you guys tell me, how do you guys feel in the comments? You guys have a good one, all right?